Thank you for tuning in. I'm JC Dawkins, a realtor with a real estate agent with Century 21 AllPoints Realty. I sponsor a local community website that helps local businesses, owners, and people that work in businesses showcase their business. And I feature a different business owner every week. Now, today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different because I'll be interviewing a local business person who is intimately involved in real estate. This is Beth Bain, and she's a loan officer with Freedom Mortgage, correct?
Correct.
Thank you so much for joining me, Mary Beth.
You are so welcome. Thanks for having me.
I'm so excited. I got all these questions ready. And folks, if you want to see the website, you just go to middletownctcommunity.com and you'll see everything there and how you can, stay abreast of what's going on in the local community. All right, my questions. All right. Mary Beth, please tell me a little bit about you and what you do.
Okay, thank you for a great introduction. Again, my name is Mary Beth Bain of Freedom Mortgage, located here in Middletown, Connecticut on 93 Broad Street. I am a branch manager and a senior loan officer. A little bit about me is I started the first loan I ever did was in 1983, and it was a 3-year adjustable at an interest rate of 17.5%. I always start one of my real estate classes that I teach in for NREI that because half the people fall off the chair when we were alive and the other half are like, oh my God. I do that to say interest rates change because again, back in 1983, houses were going for like 40,000 in Middletown area. So it just to show you that the market, don't be afraid of rates. We've been in such a great rate environment for so long, but don't be afraid if they rise just a little bit because it's all tied to housing, etc. Again, I've been in the business that long. I've been also a licensed real estate agent, so I understand JC's side of the business very well. And I have been with Freedom Mortgage about 6 years.
Okay, awesome to have you here again, I told you.
Thanks.
And now, just for some questions and bring it down to the normal person here, okay? If I'm applying for mortgage, how long does a person who, let's say, lost their job due to COVID, right, have to wait before applying? Is it 6 months, a year, longer? How does it?
Totally varies on the situation. Okay. COVID was something, again, I've been in this business, I hate to say it, for 35 years. I started when I was 5, and that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. But it varies. Are you an hourly employee? Are you a salaried employee? Did you collect unemployment? So the general answer to that question is a little bit case by case. If you were salary, laid off, went right back to your salary, no gap, there's no problem at all. But if you had a prolonged period of unemployment, and then maybe you also made a career switch at the same time, you would probably wait 6 months. However, say you took that time that you were collecting unemployment to maybe go to school and become a CNA, become a paralegal, go through one of those shorter term courses, the wait would be maybe just a month being on your new job. So if you've already started your new job and you've been on it a month, totally usable.
Awesome.
Because you went to school for that.
Okay. Now let's talk a little bit more about the current state of the real estate right now. All right. Now, do you have any insight as to like when the moratorium will be lifted for foreclosure?
Connecticut actually lifted July 1st.
Oh, it's already for foreclosures. It's been lifted.
Everything. CDC that's where it gets a little confusing because the CDC wanted to make it extend it. Connecticut chose not to. So the moratorium on evictions and foreclosures was technically lifted July 1st. But let's be real. There's such a backlog in the courts because courts have been running slower during the COVID period that I do know people are filing their evictions. It could take a while for that person to get out. All right. The same with foreclosures, because as you know, JC, from being in Connecticut, how we foreclose on a property is a little lengthier than our surrounding states. So the insight is it's coming. I'm actually starting to see some of it, my advice to anybody who maybe is in a situation where they own a property and they're contemplating maybe moving down south, something like that, now's the time to sell, because you're at the peak of the market with values. And so you won't most likely have to short sale. So you as a seller working with JC could come out with some funds, just bring forward you to the next purchase. That's just one example. I think you and I had talked about insights on this. This is my prediction. I do a lot of renovation lending. We'll talk about that a little later. These houses that are coming out of a tenant, being evicted, there's a lot of damage going on. You see it on the nightly news. Every night you see it on the news. They're interviewing another landlord. These houses are going to need love. Okay. So it's a great opportunity as a consumer to purchase your next home, your move up home, by using renovation loans to, one, make the repairs that were damaged, the tenant or the person leaving the house did, or if the house is adequate, but it's just not up to where you want to be, but it's a great deal because of the neighborhood. It's a great opportunity to improve the property by getting the funds rolled into the mortgage.
That is, and you can help them all with that stuff, this stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, great. Now let's get a little bit more practical. So I come in and I want a mortgage. I know nothing about anything. How do I get the best mortgage?
Credit, credit, credit. I always tell my clients, and this went back pre-FICOs, by the way, is know your credit. And I think with the amount of free information out there, you can know what is going on with your credit, because as a consumer, you're responsible for your own credit. All right. Errors, things like that. So there are some great websites out there that are free. There's a million of them. I always tell my clients, hook up with one of them. All right. Now, so credit is the first step. So know your credit. Know if you need to have some repairs done. I always tell all my realtor clients and my clients, get a pre-qual right off the bat. It's going to tell you a lot. All right. And there are protections in place. A lot of people say, I don't want to have my credit pulled. You can have your credit pulled like within 45 days and it doesn't affect your score. But a lender needs to see I need to see exactly what I'm dealing with. All right. So by pulling that credit, it's good for 120 days. It gives you the opportunity to repair your credit, take my advice, and focus on the areas that would get the most points to get you into a better mortgage. Because FICO scores not only drive loan programs, which I know we're going to talk about, they also affect pricing. So you could go into a conventional loan with 20% down, would be priced better than, say, myself, who had a lower FICO score. So there's reasons to improve your credit.
Gotcha. Okay. Now, what credit score is needed?
Depends on the loan program. Okay. So let's start with that. Now, I just mentioned conventional. Conventional are your standard Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac loans. You see them out there advertised all the time. Minimum of 620. Okay. Minimum of 620. But again, the highest FICO you could ever have is 850. There's going to be a pricing tier between JC, who maybe has that 850 or that high 700s, versus me, Mary Beth, who may be in the lower 6. I could still get the loan, but I'm going to pay more. Okay. So conventional is 620, absolutely all day long. Now your next one would be an FHA. Okay. An FHA is a government loan open to everybody. It's, you could go as low as a 580 with 3.5% down, or a 550 with 10% down. Okay. VA is about 550 for eligible veterans. CHAFA for 100% financing usually is around 600. And these are you have 3 FICO scores, everybody. So it's the middle of the 3. What you need for each loan, CHAFA, the 100% first time buyer. Now, remember, a first-time buyer is somebody who has not owned a home in 36 months. So you can reset your clock if you owned a home, sold it, waited 36 months. And there are some provision, what are called target areas. That's 100% financing. Okay. But JCU as a realtor would always say, hey, we're not going to take a house off the market without some skin in the game. Right. So that, in a case, would be your earnest money deposit as well. So going back to down payments, CHAFA, like I said, is 100% financing. Your VA loans are 100% financing. USDA is affectionately called rural housing or farmer's home. That's 100% financing as well.
Mhm.
And that goes to eligible properties like locations, like Middletown, for example, is not a USDA area because we're too great a population. Where Higginham would be okay because of its demographics. Okay, so conventional could be as little as 3%, like I mentioned. If you're not a first-time buyer, 5% is the minimum down. FHA is 3.5% down. And I always like to preface the 3.5% down on an FHA. You could be 100% gift funds. Mom and dad want you out of the house so bad that they're going to give you the money. So they're going to take over your bedroom.
You're great. I love the fact that you really, you'd be wonderful to work with as far as a mortgage person.
I try to make it fun.
Yes, that's the same thing I try to do, keep it light. It's a very stressful time for everyone, and why add to the stress if you can't do anything about it, right? So I just wanted to thank you because that's basically it for this interview. You've given me great information that I can share with everyone that wants to watch this video. And thank you again for being my guest. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much, JC, for having me.
Okay.
Take care.
And I also want to just thank the audience for watching. I really do appreciate that. And if you want to learn anything more about, or actually utilize the services rendered by Mary Beth, could you tell them what they have to do to contact you?
Oh, great. Like I said, I'm located right here in Middletown, Connecticut. So if you Google search Freedom Mortgage, we always pop up. We do have another office in South Windsor, but I'm located on Broad Street, 93 Broad Street. Best way to always get me is on my cell phone, which is 860-334-1406. So call or text me and I'll get right back to you.
Awesome. How about your email?
It's Mary.Bain, BAIN, at Freedom Mortgage, FREEDOMMORTGAGE.com. Get that mortgage in there.
Okay, gotcha. So, and everyone, if you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate, just give me a call. So just call JC. Got that? Just call JC. Okay. My number is 860-856-6833, or you can email me at jc@jcdawkins.com. So see you on the next episode of this program. And until then, hasta luego. Bye.
Bye, everybody.